Mile after mile after mile after mile. Turn up the night like that radio dial. Shoulder to shoulder when nobody knows. Know where we're going, we ain't going on. We're putting miles on it. Back of the Chevy with the engine running. Just you and me in a truck bed wide like a California king. We could break it in if you know what I mean.
We're so appreciative to Virginia and her team for everything that they've done too. So I'm sure Brian's going to create his own legacy too, and we're excited about that.
I'm going to be the AI president.
The AI president. Oh, I was hoping to get that.
I'm going to be the AI president.
We're going to this presentation. I was looking at doing a slideshow and all this, and I said, I don't want to make it so much as a presentation, is more of a conversation, and make this interactive, because this is what we're talking about. We're talking about social media, we're talking about AI, how to use it. We're going to show you on our screen exactly how we're utilizing it. First off, I'm George Egan. I own Egan Landscape Group. I know a lot of you, some people I don't know. It's great to see you and have you here. It's my son Jake. Jake works with me. He's a manager of landscape construction with the company. He's also on our social media platforms. He's our personality. He does a lot of the interviews and stuff, so that's why we brought Jake up here. We also brought with us, I brought Kaylee Coylian, who handles social media content. She owns SoFlo PR, and it's great to have a young person's perspective when it comes to social media, because they're all up and coming and they know how to run these rails and do the stuff that I can't do. And Emily Davis, who works with us in the company, she's our process and innovation manager within the company. And you say, what's a process and innovation manager, and what do you need that for in a landscaping company, right? What is it? So Emily does a lot for us. So we've found in the last 5 or 6 years that with all these new softwares and these new CRMs and as the company's growing, like I can't handle bringing this stuff on. HubSpot, we use HubSpot for our CRM, setting all that stuff up, setting up Google Sheets, all these different processes. Emily's great at that, so we have her working with that. She does job costing too within the company. We've done a lot with social media. I'm going to start with social media. We've done a lot with social media in the past 10 years. It wasn't really a thing. 10 years ago, we had Facebook, and every now and then you'd see people would use it to put posts on about their own personal things, and then and then we started to realize with business, how can we utilize this? It's got such a huge following. Everybody's now on Facebook or Instagram, and how can companies use this to their advantage for advertising or getting out there? Who is using social media, right? Who's our personas that we market to? Like we have our clients everybody's on social media, everybody's on Facebook, everybody's on Instagram, but we all have our individual personas that we market to. As my business, specific personas. A persona is a person's personality or a person's demographic. I might have a woman that's 55 years old that's divorced, and she needs her property to be taken care of, and she doesn't know how to use a lawnmower. So that's one specific persona that we market to. I may have another persona, maybe a commercial property manager who's in his 40s, who manages multiple properties for a property management company. So that's a different persona that we market to. Or maybe it's a guy in his 30s that's wants to put a patio in and just bought a new house, and he's married. So all these different personas are who we have to try to reach. And we can do that through utilizing social media in targeting specific demographics for that, right? So those are client personas. Who else are we trying to market to? We market to not just clients, but we market to prospective employees, right? We're always trying to market to either clients or employees, depending on how the business is going. If we have a lot of business, we need help, so we're marketing to employees. If we have a lot of employees, we need business, so we're marketing to clients. So if we can utilize these tools and reach our personas, then that's what we do, and that's what we try to focus on. So with social media, there's the first thing you think is Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. A lot of other platforms have now come aboard and turned into usable platforms for social media. YouTube, right? YouTube used to just be videos. Well, now YouTube is still videos, but people are commenting underneath them, and then people are responding to those comments, and they're having conversations back and forth. YouTube is now turned into a version of TikTok. So if anybody watches TikTok, the short videos, YouTube now has shorts, and that blew up. So Facebook and Instagram saw how that was happening. So now people are on Facebook watching videos where people were just posting years ago. Now there's videos and Reels, and it's really expanding so much. So LinkedIn. LinkedIn is social media. If anybody's utilizing LinkedIn, you'll know that targets more towards professional growth, customers for commercial clients. Maybe you can reach on LinkedIn. Prospective employees you can reach on LinkedIn. So that's a different demographic that you hit from LinkedIn. So what we do is we created content calendars that we make a calendar for the whole month. So we have a content calendar right now for the month of January that I can tell you any day what post is going to go on that day on which platform. So Kaylee does a content calendar, and Kaylee, what are we doing on Facebook a week? How many posts a week are we doing on Facebook?
We do
5. 5 on Facebook. We do 5 on Instagram. So I don't know how many LinkedIn posts or how many you.
2 on LinkedIn, 2 on TikTok.
2 on TikTok. Yeah. So we.
1 on YouTube.
And 1 on YouTube. So we stay relevant, and I can't even tell you how many times people say to me, "Oh, I saw." We've seen your videos on YouTube, but we're following you on LinkedIn, or we're following you on TikTok. And it's different who's telling me this, right? The younger guys are saying, "Oh, I'm seeing your TikTok videos." Well, that's cool. They may not be hiring me for a landscaping job, but they might be telling their parents to hire me, or they might be telling somebody else. So we're promoting to our clients via social media, but we're not the only ones promoting. We're also using other people to promote too. So somebody else sees our video and then they tell somebody else about it, or they share it. So somebody may see our video that's not doing any landscaping, doesn't own a house at all, and then they share our video to somebody who does. So if we're not utilizing this stuff, we're behind. And I think it's something that we all should be really focusing on. So some of our, we don't have a lot of time, a half an hour to talk about this stuff. So I want to kind of just rip through real quick. So I'm going to pull up our Facebook page. So this is our Facebook page here, and we posted. This was yesterday. We posted a picture of a property that we did a pool patio on. And we try to change it up all the time, and we try to make our postings related to the season and what's happening at that time. So now we're focusing on pushing design for next season or hardscape. Like I obviously wouldn't post about irrigation blowouts right now. That wouldn't make sense. So that's part of our content calendar creation. And you can see, if you can see, because that light is killing us here with that screen, the post says, "Now's a perfect time to stop planning your dream backyard. From patios to poolscapes and outdoor fireplaces, our hardscape services bring your vision to life. Don't wait, blah, blah, blah." And then there's some hashtags. We didn't write that. ChatGPT wrote that. So we're also utilizing AI to make our posts for us too. And it sounds like, this is all complicated technical stuff. It's super easy. It really is. So this is our Facebook page. This is a video of let's see if I can even open this here. So that's, just a quick video, a quick reel showing a project, something that we did. That's a video with nobody speaking, no speaking part. There's a pool with a fire pit. Here's one. What we found is the videos that get the most hits and the most views, interestingly enough, are not the videos that show the products. Like that video that we just showed with the stairs and the wall, that probably won't get as many views as this video of this one guy talking about how we inventory a trailer with an Invisitag system that we use. That'll get a ton of views. For what reason, I don't know. People watch people are interested in learning something and seeing something happening. And it's interesting to see, because we can see from the analytics, like they have a professional dashboard I could click and it will show us how many hits each video gets and how many views each video gets. But so we'll have videos with Jake, we'll go out and describe a project that he did and walk through a project. It'll get a ton of views. What do you talk about when you go to these projects?
So when I go out and I don't know how many of you guys have seen me on our social media. I've discussed probably a few projects now that you might have seen. But typically I try and talk about a few different things. First is going to be the location, because it kind of provides relevance if a customer is looking at it and they're like, oh, that's my hometown, I could do that too. The second is, what are we actually doing? Are we doing a wall? Are we doing granite steps? Are we doing a patio? To provide relevance on what we're actually doing. Does the customer, the potential persona want that at their backyard or that in their front yard? And the third is, what materials are we using? Which also brings in, if a client likes that's Cambridge, ledgestone, limestone quarry blend. If they like that color and they're like, I really want to do a patio that looks just like that, that might bring them in. So kind of a few different points, to really like, back to the personas. It can grab a certain persona if it's the right video at the right time with the right product and, all of that. So
yeah, and you know what it is too. It's like if you have a story to it, that's what they follow. And we can even see on these videos between Facebook, Instagram's great because Instagram has analytics that will tell me how long people watch that video for. So we can run a video that might be a minute long and it will say the average watch time is only 20 seconds. It's like, well, that one sucked. They only watched it, or did it, or maybe it didn't. Maybe, but that's just it. The first 20 seconds they stay engaged, and then after that they've gone. So what does that tell you? All right, we want to make sure that if that's on average over all of our videos, we want to put the action items in the first 20 seconds, right? But they're different. People also like our YouTube videos. So we have a YouTube channel, and what we post on YouTube is we post every Tuesday meeting. We have a class at our shop, and we do a class with our employees about personal development, professional development, different things, communication topics. They're long talks. They're 45-minute meetings, and we post them on YouTube. We post them because we can use that raw video on YouTube to cut up into clips. So it's kind of a holding spot for that. But we also link to those videos from our LinkedIn page. So prospective employees may see that, and then on our LinkedIn page and see how we work with our employees. And so there's hitting that persona. We don't push those so much on Facebook. But those videos will attract more. Those will be longer watching videos because people are watching through the story. We had this one here. This was an interesting one. This is funny because this was, I think, like Kaylee's first week working with us. And she came out and she videoed, we were top dressing properties, aerate and top dressing. The video doesn't even show an aerator in it, and she kind of screwed up. She put the post out and she said, that's okay though, but it was an interesting thing to see. Let's play it real quick, if it runs here.
We're having all night revival. Some call the women and someone steal the Bible. For to save my survival. Baptize me in a bottle of beans, put Johnny on the bottom.
So the video doesn't even show an aerator in it, and she posts now's the time to aerate your lawn. It's showing us top dressing the lawn. That's okay. We get 21,000 views in one day on that. And I'm watching it, I'm getting these, and I'm like, how is this happening? Why does this happen? That machine is an interesting machine, so it went viral, and people were sharing it and watching it. I'm getting these alerts. Your post hit 1,000 views. 2 minutes later, your post just hit 3,000 views. I'm like, oh, this is great, this new girl, she's awesome. And then I looked at the video, I'm like, there's no aerator in here, but who cares, right? Who cares? It's interesting to see what trends and what doesn't, but it was something that was showing something new. We also have a machine called a mulch mate. I don't know if, I know Brian has one with CMS. And it's an interesting machine. It goes in the back of the truck, or you can attach it to the back of your truck and you put mulch in it, and it back feeds out and you can fill your wheelbarrows. different machine. We post a video on that, poof, blows up. So anyway, so that's a bit about the social media, how to run that, how to utilize that, hitting our target personas depending on the actual page we're on. LinkedIn, we have a company page on LinkedIn. Like I said, it relates to our YouTube videos and our YouTube page, right? So we have a lot of YouTube videos on there. This is all free. This does costs nothing. You can advertise on Facebook and Instagram and boost posts, short money, but for the most part, it's free. We should be doing it. You get so much more exposure and we get so much more out of it. So that's it with the social media. So if you're not using AI right now, you're missing the boat. Somebody described it to me a couple of weeks ago as similar to the internet. When the internet first came out and we were all like, oh, the internet, right? The interweb, the World Wide Web, and people were hesitant. This is what AI is. You look at how the internet grew like it did. We use it every single day. We have these phones in our pockets. We have computers in our pockets that we're on all the time. It's only on the internet. Very minimal is it actually on cell, right? So I don't know if you ever get these alerts. I can't stand it. I'll get it on my iPhone. I feel like it's every day. Oh, your use time today was 4 hours. I'm like, 4 hours? I was on the phone for 4 hours today? What the hell is that? Or, like, I don't like seeing that, but that shows you how much we're attached to these. So that's all the internet. Well, this is what AI is going to be in the future. It's really like, it's growing daily. It improves itself daily. So with AI, ChatGPT, that's the common known. Everybody knows about ChatGPT. We use that pretty much every day, right? What do you use ChatGPT?
So the other day I was bidding on a pretty big job, and this was mind-blowing to me because I didn't even know it could do it. But you can upload plans to ChatGPT. So this was like a 7-page plan. The square footage of the sod area that we were doing, I think was 26,000 square feet, is what I had calculated with an engineer ruler and taken probably 4 hours out of my day. And I uploaded the plans. I said, let's see, what it can do. So I said, based off the scale of this plan, what is the total square footage of the sod area? Because obviously it shows in the key the sod. And it came up, I think, within like 100 square feet of what I had calculated when it took me 5 hours to do. I was like, I didn't know it could do that, so it was pretty good. And it can do anything. Every day I'm learning new stuff about it. So it's even sending a joke text to my friend. If one of my friends sends me some, he's ragging on me or something, I'll copy and paste it in ChatGPT. I'll say, make fun of this kid for me, So it'll come back with something, but it's amazing. And like I said, I think throughout the office, we all use it pretty much daily.
We do, yeah, we definitely do. It's just whatever you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. Creating a content calendar. I just talked about social media content calendars. So we pay Kaylee to create this content calendar for us, so we know every day, January 15th, this one post is going to go on Facebook. This one, I can put into ChatGPT. I need a content calendar for the month of February. I want 5 Facebook posts a week, 5 Instagram posts a week, 2 LinkedIn posts a week. I need all the post material and hashtags for each. Boom. Boom. Gives you the whole calendar with every single post, every single day. Yeah.
George, I think I've been stalking you for a while. The first thing was the pumpkin carving.
Yeah.
Pine Hills, was that your first viral one?
Yeah.
Which was super interesting.
Yep.
Every year it's like, oh, let's vote, let's look.
Yeah.
But I'm just as interested in Jake doing a walk around as your coffee.
Right.
Like when you're a coffee order when you're walking in?
Yeah.
Is that AI? Like, are you like,
No.
what should we ask the guys as they walk in a Tuesday morning meeting?
No, that's Kaylee that puts that together. Yeah, so that's a good one.
What's your favorite Halloween candy?
Yeah.
They're all just as interesting.
Yeah.
Like, I know your whole team from it.
That's awesome that you said that. So we reached Thomas on Facebook, but that's what we do. So one of the things going back to that is we'll post videos, short videos. Kaylee will come in every Tuesday before our Tuesday meeting and put a sign up next to the door for the guys when they're walking in, and it says, "What is your what is your go-to morning drink?" Right? What's your go-to morning drink? And she films them coming in, and they walk through the door, and it's 7 in the morning. They walk in, they'll go coffee or Gatorade, Red Bull, and she videos them, and then she puts this clip together, so it's on our TikTok channel. Everybody walking through the door, and she'll put something in. It's funny to watch the responses to everybody. There was one that was, would you rather rake leaves or shovel snow? And so the guys all walked in, and they're like, shovel snow, rake leaves, neither. And then I walked in and I said, I'd rather pay somebody else to do it. That's what I'd rather do, right? So, but that TikTok video got a ton of hits. Yeah, we do a pumpkin carving contest with the guys, and we put their pumpkins up and have people vote on the pumpkins, and we do that on there. So,
George, how do you measure your return on marketing investment or conversion rate?
okay, yeah. So that's an interesting question. So that's different than so social media is free for the most part. We're working with a marketing company right now, and anybody who's not should be, that will do that for you. And you can go on, so Google Analytics, so we post ads on Google. We're posting ads on Facebook too, which I didn't get into and speak about. But, and you can market through, we use HubSpot for a CRM, where we can send out detailed campaigns based on the persona that we have for a client. So if we know that we have customers that have lawns, but they don't have patios. Well, we know that the lawn customers that have turf are the turf customers, and we can send a campaign out just to them, and then see what the return is that comes back from those campaigns. So, kind of spinning off on your question, Barbara, we can measure what our return is based on what responses we're getting on specific posts that go out, and then we'll look at that backwards and see what did we spend for that. What did we spend for that HubSpot campaign that went out? Did we spend anything on it? We spent time in the office to build it, so there's a spend. Google Analytics will tell us what our return on investment is. You can use Google Ads as a basic version, or you can hire a marketing company that will really get into it, and they'll track all that for you. And they'll tell you, depending on what your ad is that you put out, specific ad on Hardscape. This is how many calls we got back. This is what our cost was per click on that. This is our average cost per lead that comes in from that. They'll track that. And the cost per lead on, and it's tough to measure what you actually get, or your return on investment, because whether you get that job from that lead or not, that's another question. But you can see how many leads you actually got from what you spent. So the return on investment on Facebook and Instagram is a lot less. You spend, or I should say the spend per lead is a lot less money on Facebook and Instagram, because you get a lot more returns if you advertise on Facebook and Instagram than you will on Google. Google's more detailed because there's less people responding on your Google ad, but the value of those people is way more because somebody's going on Google looking for that, right? So if you're going on Google and you're looking for a hardscape installer, you're going to type in hardscape installer because you're installing a hardscape. So then you go in and then you click on that ad. When it comes to Facebook, somebody clicks on your ad because they saw it. They might not be looking for somebody. So what's the value of that? So there's different things to look at with that. But spinning back over to AI, like I said, ChatGPT knows your history. It remembers everything that you've put in there, which sounds creepy, but don't look at it the wrong way. Look at it, we use it for good. How can we utilize it? But it remembers that I own Egan Landscape Group. If I ask it to tell me about myself, it's going to probably tell me more about me than I even remembered. It knows how many kids I have, creepy, but it knows my company from what I've put in there. And if I say I need to put a post on Indeed for a maintenance foreman, and it's going to be, he's going to perform only commercial maintenance, and he's going to be responsible for running a crew of 3. Give me a job description, an Indeed post, specific metrics for that employee, and an onboarding plan, whatever. Boom, it pulls it out and makes it, it's almost 100%, and you can edit it a little bit if you need to, but it's done like that. Copy, paste it into Indeed, done. Or if you change it and say, I don't like that, I want this changed, it remembers that that's what you didn't like about it, so the next time you ask for a post like that, it will make it how you would ask.
I want to touch on something too with ChatGPT. Another thing that we're doing in-house for Egan Landscape Group is we're creating this SOP, or SOP manual, which is standard operating procedures. And now, when we first dove into it, we were like, holy shit, like there's a lot to do here. There is thousands and thousands and thousands of procedures that we have. How to change a chain on a chainsaw, how to change a blade on a cutoff saw, how to answer the phone as an Egan Landscape Group representative. And we were like, okay, so we start writing them, and then we're like, hang on, let's throw one of these into ChatGPT and kind of create that
Format.
That format is the first one we ever had to do. We had to create kind of a format.
Vision, a vision statement, a commitment statement, and execution steps for every process. So we're using a program called Trainual, and I recommend anybody look into it to organize your processes for your company. And they ask for a vision statement, commitment statement, and execution steps for every process that you make. And then they basically, it's a big database that holds all those processes, and then divvies them out by role for your company, so you can say, okay, all the laborers, you need to know all these. All the admins, you need to know this. Like an admin doesn't need to know how to change a chain on a chainsaw, but she needs to know how to answer the phone correctly, right? So we got to build all these processes. So how do we do this? ChatGPT. Okay, so I tasked all our managers, make a list of all of our processes, just the list of what we do. Don't need to break it down. So it did. So I said, okay, let's try this with ChatGPT. We put one process, how to change a tire on the trailer. Put that into ChatGPT. ChatGPT, I need a vision statement, commitment statement, and execution steps on how to change a tire on a trailer. Broken down into steps of 3 at a time. Boom, it gave it to us. I said, wow, that's great. Copy, paste it into Trainual, and now it's on a platform so the guys can see it on their phones when they have to find it, right? So I'm like, we have 1,000 of these to do. We're gonna have to do these one at a time. Jake says, why don't you take 20 of them and say, ChatGPT, I need that same thing done for the next 20 processes. Okay, type that in. Boom, it made them all, done. Wow, like that would have taken us forever. But you get what you put into it, you get back. It's the quality of your questions determines the quality of your answers on ChatGPT. So play with it, utilize it. I recommend getting the paid version if you're a business. I think it's like $20 a month or something. I'm not sure exactly what we use that, what we pay for that. Definitely worth it. The other things that we use AI for is there's a program called Beautiful AI. This is a presentation program. I think I have it on here. Do I have it open on here? I do. Beautiful AI. This is a platform. These are some of the slide presentations. So if you do, like I said, we do a meeting every Tuesday morning. I run a slide deck up for the guys. It's like, oh, I'm going to have to make a presentation. You can put in here, create presentation. This is how easy it is. Generate with AI. I need a presentation on care and history of endless summer hydrangea. Now this is not a green industry program and knows nothing about landscape, or knows a lot about landscape, and it's AI, it knows a lot about everything, but it's not specific. This is going to create a slide deck. We'll see what it does. There's things that you'll have to edit. The picture might be off on it. Okay, here we go. Just generated slides. I feel like the internet's a little slow here for me.
While that's loading,
Yeah.
what's your estimate on when Skynet's going to come online and enslave humanity?
I have no idea. I'll let you know when it happens, though. So you can see this first slide shows a picture of a pool, right? Why would there be a pool in this picture? This is the things you have to change. The base, and it's easy. It makes it easy, so you click on it. You can go on photo and go on the internet and put an endless summer hydrangea in. But the next slide, introduction to the endless summer hydrangea. Bloom time. Endless summer hydrangeas bloom from early summer to late fall, providing vibrant display, flower colors, plant size, cold hardiness. Most of the information, 1964, the endless summer hydrangea was first discovered as a naturally occurring plant in a garden in Minnesota. 1983, researchers at the University of Minnesota began studying the unique characteristics of the endless summer hydrangea. Like this, it pulls all this, a quote from Emily Wilkins, garden enthusiast. The endless summer hydrangea is a true marvel of nature. Planting location, soil preparation, fertilization, pruning, winter protection, varieties, and these are just two of them that it just pulled out. The original, Endless Summer Bloomstruck, is another one. Dr. Michael Durr is a renowned horticulturist. Like, I just put one line in there on give me the history and care of an endless summer hydrangea, and this is what it did. That quick. Now, you have to edit some things. Some things may not be correct. But for the most part, I just got 95% of the way there in what, 3 minutes, and this slide deck's ready to play. We've used them for, this is all AI, right? We've used them for professional growth within the company. Embrace and change. We did a whole slide deck on which I put in. I need a slide deck to my employees to talk about why it's good, why change is good in the company, and why learning new processes and procedures are good for the company. And boom, made a whole thing, half-hour presentation for my employees, that quick with AI. So the other thing we use AI for is Otter AI. This is a great one. The irrigation guy yesterday, he talked in his speech out there in his presentation. I have an app on my phone called Otter AI that you can literally record it. You hit record, you put my phone down while he talked, and it gave me a full summary. I didn't type anything in. It just listened to the conversation that we had, gave us a whole summary with action items, highlights of his whole conversation. He talks about Eric Dago's success story. That was one of his topics. Challenges in the Milwaukee market. Kevin discusses the unique challenges in the Milwaukee market where water is abundant. Expanded into the green roof applications. This is a whole summary of his conversation yesterday by me just putting my phone down on the chair and listening to it, right? So we have meetings in the office that might take minutes to the meeting, or we try to remember what we talked about, or create action items for the next meeting. This actually creates the action items for you. It listens to, and you just have to be intentional when you're talking, like, okay, in the meeting, maybe I'll say, okay, so Emily, you're gonna do this, or Jake, you're gonna do this, or Dave, by the next meeting, you're gonna do this. As long as I say that, it remembers it, and it creates it as an action item. So now we have something, and then we email it to the people 5 minutes after the meeting. Here's what we talked about. Here's the action items for the next meeting. Boom, there it is. So these are the things that you can do in no time at all. So Otter AI, that's one. It's similar to if anybody's on Zoom calls and they see the AI recordings that come on, Read AI. Read AI is very simple. Otter will do that too. It'll attach to a Zoom call. Read AI will watch the video and give you a summary and a breakdown after the Zoom call of exactly what was talked about at that call. It will also tell you what was the demeanor during the call. Was it engaging? How many filler words were used? It will score you. It'll say, oh, you said 14 times, but it scores you. So that's Read AI. That does that too. And then lastly, I'll close with AI integration. So a lot of these programs that we're using now, like we use Jobber is a CRM that we use for sending out quotes. You'll start seeing in a lot of these programs that we're using, you see a little magic wand. It'll show, like when you type in a description for a service, you might have a little box that says use AI. So you can type something into that box for a description of a service and totally screw it up and say, and don't even care. Just make it very whatever you're thinking. We're gonna build a retaining wall, 120 square feet, and it's going to be this high and this, and it's going to look good. And you hit that, then you hit the AI magic wand, and it will reword it perfectly for you, make it sound professional, or make it sound cheerful, or you can change it. That's what AI is doing. It's integrating in all these other programs too. Yes?
Do you worry at all about like data privacy, and does what AI comes up with, does that, like, do you own it as a company, and like, do you worry at all about giving companies all this inside information, and like, is that?
Yeah, well, so with ChatGPT, the paid version, I think it's the 4.0 version, there is a privacy implement to it, so it won't share anything that you put in there. It remembers all your history, but it won't share it, according to ChatGPT, right? But there'll be a data breach someday. But everything we put out is on the internet now. It's like, as long as we're not using it for something that I'm concerned about. I'm not worried that that I'm going to put information about a quote on a job and Alex is going to find it and steal it from me, right? Like, what am I really putting out there? Just be. He might, though. I don't know. He's not involved. He's a past president now, so he's got no obligation of. But no, just as in anything, I just be aware of what you are putting out there, and with that respect. So I mean, that's kind of a lot of it. We do. Kaylee uses AI for video editing. She's got a program that what were you telling me earlier? You can tell it to put a.
Yeah, if you're familiar with Canva, you can go on there, and if you don't pay for it, they have like free trials where you can for like pictures, I'll use it, and if I don't like the grass sometimes in photos, I'll be like, oh, make this spot green, and then I'll brush over it with my finger, and it'll enhance it and everything. So there's little things like that.
Yeah, it's pretty wild what it does. So I was trying to pull up this. So we talked about a lot of stuff and a lot of different programs here. Yeah, my internet's not working that great. But we can send out a. We have a QR code that if you wanted to scan it, if I can get the thing up on the screen here, if you wanted to scan it, we can send out an email to you with everything that we talked about. So like Beautiful AI, ChatGPT, there's even other things. There's one called Scribe. We don't have enough time to talk about them all, but I'd love to send you something just to show you what we're using, how you can use it, what's free, what might be paid, all of that. So give me 1 second here, I'll see if I can pull this thing up. So that's the QR code there. If you're able to scan that, it'll just give you a link. You put your email in, and then we'll respond back with all the information for that too, and we can we'll post that up. Also, this whole presentation here is going to be on our social media. It'll be on our YouTube page, so you can always watch it on there too and get a recap. And yeah, so thanks for listening. And hopefully you can utilize everything we talked about. Thank you.
Thank you.